This is Sports HotSports, where we open up a range of sporting conversations. Guys, let's jump right into it. Let me start with you, Wale Adigun. 3-0. Barcelona had won at Camp Nou. It was done and dusted. What in God's name or in football names happened at Anfield, Wale?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was bonkers. Nobody expected it. Only Liverpool believed in themselves. Even the manager didn't believe in them. I mean, Klopp was always talking about the fact that let's just crash out, with beautiful failure. That was the word he really used. But the critical thing was that it looks like Klopp also learnt a whole lot from what happened in Rome. I mean, start really well, intensity, pressing, everything that identified with the manager. And the players kept on believing despite suffering that huge setback of the Salah injury in the Premier League against Newcastle United. And he got off to a good start. I mean, when you want to come back, when you want to do a comeback, it's important you get that early goal.
Absolutely.
And that was what they did. I mean, in Rome, if you remember last season, I think Dzeko got the early goal. I think it was 8th minute. They did it in the 7th minute. So the moment you get the first goal, you quickly get the fans on your side. And we know that Anfield gives you the very best of European nights, like they always say. And yes, that day showed that it was a myth that was true.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Barcelona was stunned, shell-shocked. The fans were on side with Liverpool. And from then on, it was always Liverpool. They had passion. And like Klopp said, and I agree, it wasn't about tactics. It wasn't about the philosophy. It was about passion. It was about determination. It was about the fact that they wanted to win. I mean, Jordan Henderson ended the game with painkillers, jabs, probably on one leg. James Milner also was injured for part of the game. But they kept on believing. And, I mean, if that goal had not come in the fourth one in the way they scored, I mean, if that game had gone into extra time, Liverpool were always going to win that game. Barcelona, bad night in the office for them.
So, Ayo, let's talk about Spurs now. Losing at home, 1-0 and going over to the Amsterdam Arena. We expected that. This Ajax team, Ayo, has been very, very good. They're young, they're passionate, just like Wale said earlier. They have so much to give, but unfortunately, Spurs, without buying a player all season long, and Champions League finals. What do we make of this?
So it's like one very popular commenter said, it's football. It's beautiful football. At 45 minutes, I was chatting with a friend of mine and I said to him, the game is over. I said, I don't see a way back for the sports team. And I was supposed to sign up and get on a project. And I turned on the TV back and I saw it was 1-0. And I sat there and I watched the miracle unfold and I told myself, this is why we watch football every day.
Absolutely.
The honest truth is that I think the sports team did a lot. They came out, they fought, they wanted the game more. But more importantly, I think Ajax realized as I got to a point, they thought they had won. Like Mourinho was saying the other day, he said, Eric, the Ajax coach, he had gotten to a point where he stopped playing for his team. He himself had become, you could see the changes he was making. A lot of them were was changing his team's shape, changing his team's outlook. Yeah. I mean, he took out the defender that started, he took out the defender, brought in Veltman, put the defender in midfield, took out a striker, brought in the right midfielder. So he was trying to pack the boss. And this is not the Ajax way. At the end of the day, they say, you do what you're good at doing, you do what you're best at doing. He should have gone out there and taken the game to the sports team.
To the end?
But he wanted to sit back, he wanted to hold it. And you can't do that if you're on the losing side. Because, again, Tottenham had the momentum. So they took it and they ran with it. And that was just it.
I think it was all about momentum, guys. I really can't agree less with my analysts in the house. But then again, history is repeating itself for the first time since the one we saw at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow in 2008 when Manchester United played Chelsea in an all-English final. Well, this year is a deja vu. But this time it is at the Wanda Metropolitano in the home of Atletico Madrid where for the first time since then we'll see Tottenham Hotspurs play Liverpool in what will be an all-English final. Meanwhile, same goes for the Europa League as we will be seeing Arsenal take on Chelsea in the finals. What a year for English football. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing how those particular finals will look like. Okay, so yes, today we would signal another, the end. This weekend, I beg your pardon, will signal the end of the rhapsody of football on ending realities as the EPL comes to a halt. It's been 38 weeks of grilling football fiesta like never before, back to back, neck to neck. This particular title race goes down to the wire, Ayodeji. So all the way, did you see this happening, Manchester City, Liverpool?
When we started the season, probably I expected it to be a 4-horse race like we've always had all season.
Okay.
But it's become a 2-horse race, and it's exciting to watch. It's probably the the best season ever for any Premier League fan. And to be honest, I do not agree with his comment about the Premier League not being the best.
Okay.
The honest truth is that this is actually a build-up. Like he said, this is the beginning of a dominant period for the Premier League. Now we see City, the team that City put out this season would have beaten every other team in the Champions League this season.
Okay.
They were that good, and the only team they lost to is Spurs. So it tells you something about the way the English league is building up. And now we have Liverpool in there, we have Spurs who are in the final, and City are not even in this conversation. So what that tells you is that the Premier League is becoming great again.
Okay.
And it's amazing because we can see that there are two teams, the two teams that are dominating the Premier League right now are not even considered traditionalists in that sense. So what does that tell you about the teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United?
Okay.
If those guys begin to build, that would be 5 solid teams.
Guys, let's move forward now before we get to that topic of the day. We are done. We are tired. Well, we can't continue. That's what the Qataris billionaires are saying right now to PSG. While they were here, they want to pull up their money and say, if I buy a product and it's not functioning well, I need to return it or probably just move out of the business. It's not the very best of time for PSG.
It isn't. I mean, it's the worst season for the QSI since they took over PSG. This has been the worst season, where they've only ended with one trophy. And this was not the trophy they set out to really win. I mean, they want to win the league, but we know the holy grail for them, and that is the Champions League.
Yeah.
But they also have to be patient. It doesn't come easy. Chelsea knocked on the door for how many years before they got it open? In 2012. I mean, they were knocking since 2006 or 3, when they had they've been knocking. So you have to knock a whole lot. Man City have been knocking. Man City's best season has been not even with Pep Guardiola. It's been with Manuel Pellegrini.
Absolutely, semi-finals of the Champions League.
So they will have to be very patient. I'm not sure they've done a lot of smart business. They are top heavy. They need to invest overall in the squad. They need to get capable midfielders. They lacked a lot of creativity this season. They need to get Neymar playing more. Maybe they need to get a replacement for Cavani if he wants to leave. Mbappe is fine. I'm sure they will keep him. But they need to add a lot of quality. The uncertainty about their goalkeepers last season was very bad for them. I mean, Buffon is in the Champions League, or Buffon plays today, Areola plays tomorrow. Yeah. That sequence till the season ended, it just didn't help them. The Adrian Rabiot distraction also was in there. So they need to, focus, invest maybe a bit on homegrown talents also who are coming through. But the Champions League doesn't come easy. The Champions League is not guaranteed.
All right, so let's talk about some motorsports now. We can confirm to you that the Spain Grand Prix that will be happening at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya will be happening this particular weekend. And of course, I remember that that will be on Sunday. Mercedes-Benz have, of course, won 2 in the last 2 weeks. Of course, they won the last 2 Grand Prix. The last one was at the Baku circuit in Azerbaijan, and with Valerie Bottas doing quite well in there. And of course, we're looking forward to how things would pan out. Remember that Ferrari earlier this season mentioned that they are giving Sebastian Vettel a lot of advantage ahead of other riders, and hey, the advantage is not transferring, or rather translating to victories, in the pole position. The conversation thus far has been very, very fantastic. Remember that you can join us in the studio. Come on. Easy, by the whip of a film. Do well to text us on the number on your screen, or better still, go to our social media platforms right there on your screen, as well as our YouTube channel, especially at HotSports NG. We'll be right back for what is to be the topic of the day. We are asking this beautiful morning, Barcelona's success is he so dependent on Lionel Messi? That's a question. It's a multi-billion-dollar question. But then again, this gentleman can do the do. We'll be right back after this.
It's obvious. It's there for everyone to see that Messi is Barcelona. Barcelona is Messi. He's won 10 championships. I'm not sure any player has done that in world football. He's top scorer in Barcelona's history. He's 348 goals ahead of the second place, top scorer. He's the greatest player. Every success they've achieved under Pep Guardiola, who also admitted that if not for Messi, Xavi, and the rest of the guys, he wouldn't have won the Champions League. It's so clear, crystal clear, that Barcelona's success depends on Messi.
Is Messi a great player? Yes. Is Messi one of the greatest players to ever play the game of football? Yes. But is Barcelona's success dependent on Messi? The answer is no. The reality is, if you look at the last 15 years of the Barcelona story, and if you put that pari passu with what Messi has done, there is a clear and obvious distinction with the team that Messi came into and the team that he's supposed to be leading now. Now, when Messi came into the Barcelona team early in 2008, he had a lot of great players there. In 2003, he had a lot of great players. These players were the bedrock on which he built the success that he has gained. Now, is to lead the team, and we can obviously see his feelings.
And we are here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time to just go right into it. So, Wale Adigun, the floor is yours.
I mean, with what I've said earlier on, the numbers back it up. I'm a numbers guy. It's a numbers game. It's won 10 titles. Hardly will you look at any of the major titles Barcelona have won and it doesn't have Messi written all over it. So, except for the Champions League final in 2006. And that was when Messi just started as a 17-year-old. He didn't even play the final in which they went on to win. But take a look at what has happened since then. Since 2008 till date, Messi has shattered every record. Messi has scored goals. Messi have done over 20 goals in the last 5 or 6 seasons. Messi have won them titles, 10 La Liga titles, a lot of Copa del Rey to go with it. I mean, a lot of Champions League titles also to go with it. I mean, give me a player that is that.
The reality is that I don't disagree with your point. I don't disagree with the fact that it's
whatever you're going to say right now is going to disagree with it.
Again, I don't disagree with the fact that he scored goals. I don't disagree with the fact that he's a player that.
So what do you agree with?
What I can tell you is this: Messi would not take the ball from the post and go and score by himself.
So we know that football. We know that football is a team game. See. Football is a team game.
Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. These were the guys that built the modern Barcelona. Before then, we had players in the front who were providing the goals.
Razak, calm down.
Eto scored a ton of goals for Barcelona.
Have left. Guess what? Barcelona are still winning titles with Lionel Messi.
But they cannot win the Champions League. The last time Barcelona won the Champions League, they had Xavi and Iniesta in the team.
Even before Xavi, there was Ronaldinho, there was Eto.
And these people also provided the bedrock for how Messi excelled.
Messi was there. Then came on Xavi, Iniesta, Messi was there. These guys, calm down. These guys leave, and guess who comes in again? The likes of Rakitic, likes of Suarez, and they still keep on winning, depending on Lionel Messi.
Just 4 days ago, we saw the fall of the Barcelona team.
Okay.
This is 3 seasons back to back where they've lost 4-0, 3-0.
So 4-0. It was Messi's fault.
Oh, no.
Messi, so it was Messi that was
again,
defending.
Messi is supposed to be leading this team. So he's supposed to be the champion in this team. But the reality is this.
I mean, when
the going gets tough, what they say?
The tough gets going.
Exactly.
So didn't he get going in 2015 when they won the Champions League?
Yeah, that's where.
Didn't he get going when they won the league this season?
Do you remember 2008?
Didn't he get going?
When
listen.
Scored the goal that drove them to the Champions League final.
Didn't he get going?
Final that, of course, we would attribute to Messi's titles. But Iniesta scored that goal.
Razak, didn't he get going?
You can go back to 2011.
Didn't he get going when he did almost 100 goals in the season?
2011,
he did 92
goals.
It was
Villa who opened the shop after Real equalized for Man U. Villa again scored a spectacular goal that is considered the winning goal in every match.
You know why you should appreciate the grade of Messi? You know why you should appreciate the grade of Messi? You know why you should appreciate the grade of Messi?
When he retires.
No. It's the fact that players have come and gone. But one guy remains everlasting, in quotes, and that is Lionel Messi. That fact ends everything.
By that metric, Giggs is also an amazing player.
How?
Oh wow, Giggs is a one team player. Giggs won titles back to back, multiple teams, and all these teams, every single time in all these teams, Giggs Every time, always scored. This is the only player in Premier League history who has scored a goal in every Premier League season.
Don't let us go offside.
Now,
what
I'm trying to point out is
let's focus
the
on
metrics
Messi.
by which you are using to rate Messi,
okay,
you have to use that metrics to measure other people. Now, the reality is this. Messi is a one-team guy. Amazing thing. Amazing for success.
So you are saying my point. You are influencing my point. No, you say it's a one-team guy, and we are saying that
Barcelona are better off now
without Messi.
Yes.
Oh, are you high on water?
No. Barcelona will do better off when Messi goes. You know why? Right now, every time he plays badly...
Do you see what Real Madrid are going on without Ronaldo? Do you see what's happening?
That's exactly the problem with teams. Football is a team sport.
Hey, listen, in as much as football is a team sport, you build your team around certain players. There is no crime in building your team around a player.
If you build a team around a player like Messi, he obviously cannot take it to titles. Argentina, Copa America... No winning.
No.
World Cup,
I'm not going to go in that way.
He would not win titles for you all by himself. That's what you need players to do. That's what you need your key players to do.
Do you know that in the majority of teams,
Barcelona's success is failing because Messi is failing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know how many goals he scored this season?
It's irrelevant. If you cannot win the Champions League, everybody can score goals in La Liga.
He has won the Champions League 3 times. What are you saying?
Without Xavi and Iniesta, or all by himself.
Oh, so you think that everyone doesn't need a support system? You need a support system.
Unfortunately, Messi believes...
Your wife is your support system, isn't she?
No, that's not the problem here.
So Messi needs a support system.
Himself is handicapping the team. How? When Ronaldo left, the first thing Ramos said is this. Ramos said, we're a better team now. Oh. Why?
So what happened after that?
England has become the first ever country to have all 4 finalists in UEFA's flagship club competition in the same year after Arsenal and Chelsea booked their places in the European League final. It comes a day after Tottenham miraculously overcame Ajax to guarantee their spot in the Champions League final with Liverpool, who put a stunning second-leg comeback against Barcelona at Anfield. There have been several occasions where 3 or 4 finalists in the 2 main European competitions have been from the same country. However, after Maurizio Sarri's side confirmed the spot at Stamford Bridge, both finals will be contested by English teams in the unprecedented feat. London will also become the first ever city to have 3 teams compete in UEFA's flagship club competition finals in the same year.
Wow, if you've missed that particular debate, you can actually get to watch a repeat endlessly on social media. Please do well to go follow us on our social media platforms and of course at HotSports NG for the conversations like never before. Wale Adigun, I come to you now for your conclusion.
I mean, there's nothing to conclude. You know that Barcelona dependent. He knows. I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he's going to tell me off the air when we're done with the show. But the truth of the matter is, Barcelona, everything they've achieved since Messi joined, since Messi became a big player for them, has been due to Messi. I mean, managers have come and gone. Managers have come and gone, and they've attributed to the fact that, I mean, one of the managers said that Messi has improved him as a manager. That is a huge statement, that Messi has improved him as a manager. Okay. So that tells you the greatness of a player. We're not even talking about his greatness here. We're talking about his importance, and that can never be overemphasized. How important he's scored goals, he's assisted, he's won them trophies. I mean, I don't have to say more. Messi Absolutely. Definitely, everything they've achieved has been dependent. And I really dread, I help Barcelona fans dread life without Lionel Messi.
It's going to be quite difficult to see how that would pan out. But then again, Deji Razak also has to give his own conclusion. Deji. Messi
and Barcelona, they are 2 synonymous names. You cannot separate Messi from Barcelona, and I'm not trying to do that. But the reality is this. One thing I've come to understand is this. And over the past 10, 15 years, there's been so much attributed to what Messi is doing and taken away from what other players are doing. Xavi, for me, is the greatest player to ever play for Barcelona. Because his presence is the reason why players like Messi can go on to excel and be great. He's left, and the gap is showing. Every season since he's gone, the Barcelona team has looked terrible. They've looked worse. This is very similar to Roy Keane and how Man U has declined ever since he left from that team.
Wow, similarities, of course, and of course discrepancies right there. That's what football is all about. Of course, that's what this gentleman has been able to give us so far. So let's hear what my final whistle is. I think, and quite strongly, that I'll lean slightly to Wale Adigun, who feels that Lionel Messi is the Barcelona could be the crown, but Lionel Messi is the jewel on that crown, making it the crown jewel of football. And then as well as same as DG Razak, who feels that, hey, do not disregard the effort of other players in that team. Lionel Messi is just a unit in the whole functional system called Barcelona. But what do you think? It is your thoughts that really I want to hear. So do well to whip out your phones and text us. Tell us what's on your mind, especially on our comment section in the YouTube, of course, our YouTube channel, that's at HotSports NG. Gentlemen, I have to say a very big thank you to you first. Wale Adigun, thank you so very much for coming back on the show.
Yeah, it's good to be back, and I'd like to be back once again with him on set.
Absolutely, absolutely. DG Razak, we some people were fearful about your debut, yeah, but then again, it was a Ray Rooney kind of debut. Huge hat-trick, and then of course, you smart.
The head, left leg, and right
and right leg, everywhere goes, man. Thank you very much for coming, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, I would love to come back. I would love to sit and have a conversation with him as to who's the greater player.
Absolutely.
But, yes, let's do this again.
Absolutely, we'll do this again, definitely. And one thing you should do for us again is to look after yourselves and take care of each other as we leave you now. Remember, please do not drink and drive. If you're going to be drinking, do not drive. If you're going to be driving, do not drink. But we'll see you again next week, Saturday. My name is Papachide Guerrero. Adios, amigos.